Gentlemen, what if I told you that your toothbrush, yes, the one sitting in your bathroom right now, can give you instant hardness in less than 30 seconds? I'm not joking, and I'm not talking about using it on your teeth. There's a specific spot on your body that when you stimulate it with your toothbrush for just 20 to 30 seconds, it activates a nerve pathway that floods your penis with blood almost immediately. I know that sounds absolutely insane, but stay with me because what I'm about to reveal is backed by peer-reviewed research and has worked for thousands of men in my practice. I'm Dr. Lila Romano, a board-certified urologist who has spent over a decade specializing in male sexual health, working with thousands of men in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. What I'm about to reveal is a technique I've personally taught to countless patients in my office. It costs you nothing, and the best part? When you do this correctly, it works the very first time you try it. But here's the critical part. You must stay with me until the end of this video because if you stimulate the wrong spot, use the wrong pressure, or time it incorrectly, this won't work. And I'm going to walk you through every single detail so you get it right tonight. Before we go any further, type "ready" in the comments below if you're serious about trying this. The science behind this technique comes from a 2009 study published in the Journal of Sexual Medicine. Researchers studied men averaging between 58 and 65 years old who were experiencing mild to moderate erectile dysfunction. They applied targeted stimulation to a specific area called the perineum, and what they found was remarkable. Perineal nerve stimulation significantly improved erectile response, not just subjectively, not just in how the men felt, but in measurable clinical improvements in firmness, duration, and the ability to maintain an erection from start to finish. Now, before I show you where and how to do this, you need to understand why this works. Because if you don't understand the mechanism, you won't do it correctly, and you'll walk away thinking it's nonsense. So let me walk you through exactly what happens inside your body when an erection occurs. An erection is not controlled by willpower. It's not about how much you want it or how hard you try. An erection is a neurological and vascular event that depends on a precise sequence of signals. Here's how it's supposed to work. Your brain receives an arousal signal, whether it's visual, mental, or physical. That signal travels down your spinal cord to a cluster of nerves in your lower back and pelvis. From there, the pudendal nerve carries the message directly to your penis. When that signal arrives, your body releases a molecule called nitric oxide into the smooth muscle tissue lining your penile arteries. Nitric oxide tells those muscles to relax. When they relax, the arteries open wide, and blood rushes in with force, filling two spongy chambers inside your penis called the corpora cavernosa. At the same time, the veins that normally drain blood away get compressed by the incoming pressure trapping the blood inside. That's what creates firmness. That's what creates an erection. Now, here's where things break down as you age. Nerve conduction slows. The signals traveling from your brain to your penis become weaker, less clear. Nitric oxide production decreases. Your blood vessels, which used to be flexible and responsive, become stiffer, less able to open wide. And the result is that even when your mind is ready, even when desire is strong, your body simply isn't receiving the signal it needs to respond. Think of your nervous system like an electrical circuit. Your brain is the power source. The pudendal nerve is the wire that carries electricity from the source to the device. And your penis is the light bulb. When that wire gets old, when the connection weakens, the light dims. You're sending power, but it's not reaching the destination with enough strength. This technique is like bypassing the weak connection and sending power directly through a fresh, strong pathway. You're reactivating the circuit at the point where it's most responsive. So where is that pathway? Where can you access this nerve so directly that a simple toothbrush can activate it? The answer is a small area between your scrotum and your anus called the perineum. Most men have no idea this spot even matters. They've never touched it, never thought about it, never realized it's one of the most powerful control centers for sexual function in the entire male body. Here's what's happening underneath that skin. The pudendal nerve, the nerve responsible for sensation in your penis, sensation in your scrotum, control of your pelvic floor muscles, and the erection reflex itself, runs directly through the perineum. And unlike most nerves in your body that are buried deep beneath layers of muscle and tissue, the pudendal nerve in the perineum sits close to the surface. That's why this spot is so incredibly responsive to stimulation. When you apply targeted rhythmic pressure to the perineum, you're not just pressing on skin, you're directly activating the nerve fibers that control erections. It's like finding a secret button on a control panel that most men don't even know exists. And when you press that button in the right way, with the right pressure and the right rhythm, the entire system lights up. The 2009 study I mentioned earlier found that men who received rhythmic stimulation to the perineum experienced significant improvements in erectile function. The researchers measured blood flow, they measured firmness, they measured duration, and across the board, the results were clear. Direct nerve activation works. It works because you're bypassing all the age-related slowdowns in your system and going straight to the source. Your perineum is like a control panel for your sexual response. And just like any control panel, when you know which buttons to press and how to press them, you can activate functions that seemed broken or lost. The nerve is still there. The pathway is still intact. It's just been sitting dormant, waiting for the right kind of stimulation to wake it up. Now, you might be wondering, why does this require rhythmic pressure or vibration? Why can't I just press on the spot with my finger and hold it there? The answer comes down to how your nervous system responds to different types of touch. Your skin, especially in sensitive areas like the perineum, contains specialized nerve endings called mechanoreceptors. These receptors are designed to detect different kinds of stimulation. Some respond to light touch, some to deep pressure, and some, the ones we're targeting, respond specifically to vibration and rhythmic movement. When you apply static pressure, pressing and holding in one spot, you activate some nerve fibers. But the signal is weak, and it fades quickly because your nervous system adapts. The nerve fibers stop firing as strongly after just a few seconds. But when you apply rhythmic pressure, moving in small circles or using a gentle pulsing motion, you're constantly re-triggering those mechanoreceptors. The nerve fibers keep firing over and over, sending a strong, continuous signal up the pudendal nerve to your spinal cord and brain. It's the difference between knocking on a door once and waiting versus ringing a doorbell. Repeatedly. The repeated stimulation creates a stronger, clearer, more urgent signal, and your brain responds to that urgency by flooding the area with nitric oxide, relaxing your blood vessels, and increasing circulation exactly where you need it. This is why a soft bristle toothbrush is the perfect tool. The bristles provide gentle, consistent vibration when you move them in small circles. They're soft enough that you won't overstimulate or desensitize the nerve, but firm enough to create the rhythmic contact that triggers the response. It's the Goldilocks zone of stimulation. Not too hard, not too soft, just right. Now let me walk you through exactly what happens inside your body, second by second, when you use this technique correctly. Because understanding this timeline will help you recognize when it's working and what to expect. In the first 10 seconds, as you begin applying gentle circular stimulation to your perineum, the eye and mechanoreceptors in your skin activate. Nerve signals begin firing up the pudendal nerve toward your spinal cord. These signals are traveling at incredibly high speed, but your brain needs a moment to interpret them and respond. Between 10 and 20 seconds, your brain receives the signal loud and clear. It interprets this stimulation as a need for increased blood flow to the pelvic region. Your brain begins releasing nitric oxide into the smooth muscle tissue lining your penile arteries. Those muscles start to relax. You might begin to feel a subtle tingling sensation in your perineum, a warmth starting to spread through your pelvic area. Between 20 and 30 seconds, nitric oxide production reaches its peak. Your blood vessels are fully dilating, opening wide to allow blood to rush in. You might feel warmth spreading to the base of your penis. You might notice a sense of fullness beginning to form, an increased Awareness of blood flow in the region. This is your body shifting from dormant to ready. Between 30 and 60 seconds after you finish the stimulation, your pelvic floor muscles engage reflexively. The veins that drain blood away from the penis begin to compress. Blood that's rushed in starts to get trapped, creating the beginning of firmness. And here's what's remarkable. This can happen without any visual arousal, without any mental fantasy, without any physical stimulation of the penis itself. This is pure neurological activation, your body responding exactly the way it's designed to when the right signal is sent. What you'll notice during this process is a tingling sensation in the perineum itself, warmth spreading from the perineum to the base of the penis and into the scrotum, increased awareness and sensitivity in your entire pelvic region, and the beginning of tumescence, that sense of swelling and readiness that used to arrive automatically when you were younger. Now, this is not a full erection yet. What you're creating is a state of readiness. You're priming your nervous system, preparing your vascular system, and putting your body in a state where, when arousal does arrive, whether it's from visual stimulation, physical touch, or mental fantasy, your body responds instantly and powerfully instead of struggling to catch up. Now, I need to warn you about the 6 mistakes that will completely sabotage your results. I've seen men try this and give up after one attempt because they made one of these errors without even realizing it. Pay close attention because avoiding these mistakes is just as important as doing the technique correctly. Mistake number 1, pressing too hard. Your perineum is sensitive. The pudendal nerve sits close to the surface, and it doesn't take much pressure to activate it. If you press too hard, thinking more pressure equals better results, you actually desensitize the area. The nerve becomes overwhelmed, stops responding effectively, and instead of activation, you get numbness or discomfort. I had a patient who tried this with deep, aggressive pressure. He came back saying, "Dr. Romano, this didn't work at all." When I asked him to show me, I immediately saw the problem. He was pressing like he was scrubbing a stain out of carpet, not stimulating a nerve. The fix is simple. Use gentle pressure, just enough to make contact with the skin. Think stroking a cat's fur, not kneading bread dough. Light, rhythmic, consistent contact is all you need. Mistake number 2, wrong duration. If you stimulate for less than 15 seconds, the nerve doesn't fully activate. The signal isn't strong enough to trigger the full response in your brain. But if you go too long, over 60 seconds, you hit diminishing returns. Your nervous system adapts to the stimulation, the nerve fibers stop firing as strongly, and you're just wasting time or causing irritation. The science shows nerves respond best to novel stimulation. The first 20 to 30 seconds create the strongest signal. After that, the effect plateaus. One patient told me he tried this for 5 minutes straight, thinking more was better. All he got was frustration and a sore perineum. The sweet spot is 30 to 45 seconds. That's it. Set a timer on your phone if it helps. Mistake number 3, wrong timing. This is one of the most common errors I see. Men do this technique 30 minutes before intimacy and wonder why nothing happened when they actually need it. Or they wait until they're already struggling, already losing firmness, and try to use this as a rescue technique. Both approaches fail. Here's why. The nerve activation and blood flow response peaks around 2 to 5 minutes after stimulation, then gradually fades over the next 15 to 20 minutes. Do this too early. The window closes before intimacy begins. Too late, you've missed the optimal moment. I had a 62-year-old patient who tried this right as he was getting into bed with his wife. By the time foreplay started, the activation window had already passed. When he tried again a few days later, doing the technique 3 to 5 minutes before he anticipated things would progress, he told me it was like night and day. Everything just clicked. Same technique, same body, different timing. And that made all the difference. Mistake number 4, using the wrong tool or technique. Some men try this with just their fingers, applying static pressure. But fingers alone give you inconsistent pressure and no vibration. The rhythmic component is critical. Others try using hard objects, pens, massage, tools, or electric massagers on high settings. These are far too aggressive and can cause pain, bruising, or nerve damage. A soft bristle toothbrush is ideal because it gives you the perfect combination. Soft bristles that won't hurt or irritate, easy control over pressure, natural vibration when you move it in small circles, and it's something you already have, clean and safe. Dedicate one toothbrush just for this technique. Do not use your regular dental toothbrush. Keep it clean. Wash it with warm water and mild soap before and after each use, and store it separately. Mistake number 5. Wrong location. The perineum is a small area, about the size of a quarter. If you're stimulating too close to your anus, you're hitting the wrong nerve bundle. Too close to the base of your scrotum, you're missing the target completely. The correct spot is dead center of the perineum, midway between the base of your scrotum and your anus. Here's how to find it. Sit or stand comfortably. Place your hand between your scrotum and anus. Feel for a slightly soft, muscular area. When you press lightly, it should feel more sensitive than the surrounding tissue. You might even feel a subtle tingling just from light touch. That's your target. Precision matters here. Take 30 seconds to locate the exact spot before you even pick up the toothbrush. Mistake number 6, not relaxing. This one surprises most men. If you're tense, anxious, stressed, or rushing through this, your sympathetic nervous system, your fight or flight response, is active. And when that system is dominant, erections are physiologically impossible. Your body is in survival mode, not reproduction mode. Erections require the parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest mode, to be in control. Tension, stress, and anxiety work directly against you. Before you begin this technique, take 3 slow, deep breaths. Let your shoulders drop, relax your jaw, create a calm internal state. This isn't just mental preparation, it's physiological preparation. You're shifting your nervous system into the mode where sexual function can actually occur. All right, now let me give you the exact protocol, step by step, so you can do this correctly the very first time you try it tonight. Step 1, preparation. Here's what you need. A clean, soft bristle manual toothbrush. Extra soft is even better if you can find it. This toothbrush should be dedicated solely to this technique. Do not use your regular dental toothbrush. Wash it thoroughly with warm water and mild soap before the first use. You'll also want a private, comfortable space where you won't be interrupted. Optionally, if the manual technique doesn't work after 2 or 3 attempts, you can try an electric toothbrush on the absolute lowest setting. But start with manual first. Step 2, positioning. You need to comfortably reach your perineum without straining. The best position for most men is sitting on the edge of your bed or a chair with your legs slightly apart. This gives you easy access and keeps your body relaxed. Alternative position 1, standing with one leg elevated on the toilet seat or a stool. This opens up the area. Alternative position 2, lying on your back with your knees bent and feet flat. This is the most relaxed position, though slightly harder to reach the spot. The key is comfort. If your muscles are tense or you're uncomfortable, that tension will work against you. Find a position where you can relax completely while accessing the perineum easily. Step 3, locating the exact spot. This is critical. Place your hand, make sure it's clean, between your scrotum and your anus. Feel for a soft, slightly muscular area about the size of a quarter. Imagine a straight line drawn from the base of your scrotum to your anus. The perineum is right in the center of that line. When you press lightly on this spot, it should feel more sensitive than the surrounding skin. You might notice a subtle tingling, a sense that something responds when you touch it. That's the pudendal nerve reacting. That's your target. Take your time with this step. Spend 30 seconds locating and confirming you've found the right spot. Step 4, the manual toothbrush technique. Take your clean toothbrush and hold it horizontally with the bristles facing your perineum. Place the soft bristles flat against the spot you just located. Not the hard plastic handle, the bristles. You want the entire bristle head, making gentle contact with your skin. Now here are your two motion options. Method 1, circular motion. Apply light contact, just enough pressure that the bristles bend slightly. Move the toothbrush in small, gentle circles, about the size of a dime. The speed should be about 1 full rotation per second, steady and rhythmic. Method 2, pulsing or tapping motion. Instead of circles, use a gentle up and down pulsing, like you're very lightly drumming the bristles against the spot, about 1 pulse per second. Some men respond better to circular, some to pulsing. Try both and see which feels more effective. The pressure, and I cannot stress this enough, should be gentle. This is not scrubbing. This is not a deep massage. This is light, rhythmic surface stimulation. If you were doing this to a baby's skin, that's the level of gentleness you want. Continue this motion for 30 to 45 seconds without stopping. Set a timer if it helps you stay consistent. Step 5. What you should feel. During the 30 to 45 seconds of stimulation, you should notice a gentle tingling in the perineum itself. It might feel like a light buzzing or warmth beginning to spread. This is the nerve activating. You might also feel warmth moving from the perineum toward the base of your penis and increased awareness of your entire pelvic area, like blood flow is gently waking up. Immediately after you stop, within 30 to 60 seconds, you should feel a sense of fullness or readiness in your pelvic region. Not a full erection, but a state of preparedness. Slight warmth in the penis, a tingling that may extend to your scrotum or lower abdomen. An overall sense that your body is ready to respond. What you should not feel is pain. If you feel pain, stop immediately. You're pressing too hard. Numbness means too much pressure or the wrong spot. And if you feel absolutely nothing, no tingling, no warmth, no change at all, you're either on the wrong spot or not applying enough pressure. Adjust and try again. Step 6. The advanced variation with an electric toothbrush. Only try this if the manual technique didn't produce noticeable results after 2 or 3 attempts over different days. Take an electric toothbrush and turn it to the lowest vibration setting. Do not use medium or high. Place the bristles against your perineum and hold it still. Don't move it around. The vibration does all the work. Duration is 20 to 30 seconds, shorter than the manual method because the stimulation is more intense. If it feels uncomfortable, too intense, or painful, stop immediately and go back to the manual technique. Step 7. Timing for intimacy. This is where everything comes together. Do this technique 3 to 5 minutes before you anticipate intimacy will begin. Not 20 minutes early because the effect will fade. Not during foreplay because it interrupts the natural flow. The sweet spot is right before you transition from everyday interaction to intimate contact. That 3 to 5 minute window is when your nervous system is primed, your blood flow is optimized, and your body is in maximum readiness. Step 8. What happens next? Within 2 to 5 minutes after you finish the technique, you enter what I call the readiness window. Your pudendal nerve is activated. Your blood vessels are dilated. Nitric oxide is abundant in your system. Your pelvic floor muscles are engaged. When arousal begins, whether from seeing your partner, physical touch, mental fantasy, or any combination, your body doesn't struggle to respond. It responds instantly, powerfully, naturally. Firmness comes easier. Maintenance feels effortless, and you can finally trust your body again. Now let me give you realistic expectations so you know exactly what to look for and when. And understanding this timeline will keep you from giving up too early or expecting overnight miracles. Your first attempt. The very first time you try this, you might feel the tingling and warmth immediately. You might notice partial firmness or a clear sense of readiness, or you might feel nothing dramatic at all, and that's completely normal. Your nervous system might need 2 or 3 exposures to this new stimulus before it learns to respond strongly. Think of it like learning a new language. The first time you hear a word, your brain is still processing. By the 3rd or 4th time, recognition clicks. Don't judge success or failure based on attempt number 1. Give yourself 3 tries over 3 different days before deciding whether this technique works for your body, after 3 to 5 uses. By your third, fourth, or fifth attempt, you should start noticing clearer results. Your perineum becomes more sensitive to the stimulation and recognizes the pattern. The response happens faster, often within 10 to 15 seconds instead of the full 30, and the firmness you feel is stronger, more reliable, more like what you remember from years ago. This is your nervous system developing muscle memory for this activation pathway. The pudendal nerve is learning to respond powerfully and consistently after 2 weeks of regular use. If you're using this technique 2 or 3 times per week consistently, by the 2-week mark, you'll start noticing improvements that extend beyond just the moments when you use it. Nerve sensitivity throughout your entire pelvic region improves. Morning erections, those spontaneous signals of healthy function, may start returning even on days when you haven't used the technique. Your overall sexual responsiveness feels more natural, more like it used to be, after 4 weeks and beyond. This is where the real transformation happens. With consistent use over a month or more, many men experience spontaneous improvements, firmness, without needing the technique every time, faster arousal response in general, and most importantly, greater confidence, because now you have a reliable tool. You know that if you need it, it's there. And that confidence alone often reduces the anxiety that was making the problem worse in the first place. Now, gentlemen, try this technique tonight and come back to tell me what happened in the comments below. If you found this helpful, share this video with a friend who's struggling. You might change his life. This is Dr. Lila Romano, and I'll see you in the next video.